Welcome back to the Price of Business. I'm your host, Kevin Price, talking to you about you and your business. I've got Daven Michaels on the program. He's with 123employee.com, a great firm, CEO of that company. He's also a New York Times best-selling author and a great resource, is one of the finest authorities out there when it comes to understanding the dynamics of outsourcing. Daven, as always, welcome to our program.
Hey, Kevin. Good morning. Great to be here.
Glad to have you on. Before you introduce your guest, kind of give us that quick overview of 123employee.com.
Sure, absolutely. Well, 123 is the premier outsourcing center in the Philippines. We have hundreds and hundreds of employees at our 3 campuses overseas. We work with entrepreneurs and larger businesses all over the planet. We help them with their busy work. We do their internet marketing, social media, telemarketing, back office tasks, client support, help desk, all the busy stuff so that they can focus on the income-generating activities in their business and thrive.
Very good. It sounds like you've explained that before. Okay, tell us about your guest today.
Absolutely. Well, I'm excited to have Jon Abt on the phone with us, and Jon is actually co-CEO of Abt Electronics, and if you've heard of Abt, you may think it's ABT because a lot of their fans call the company ABT because they think it is, but it's Abt Electronics, a fascinating company because they have a massive, massive facility in Illinois, and they have over 1,100 employees, and they're the number one retailer of electronics and appliances nationwide. Pretty amazing company. Excited to have Jon on the line with us today. Jon, you there?
I'm here. Thanks for having me.
Well, we're delighted to have you on the program. I think the elevator speech has already been done by Daven for you. But what a great company. We're delighted to have you on the program.
Thank you.
And Jon, I'm just curious a little bit about your business model. I know the company was created in the 30s, and you have one facility, but you have over 1,000 employees. Just tell us a little bit more about your business and how it works. It just sounds fascinating.
We were formed in 1936 by my grandparents, David and Jewel Abt. She had actually gotten thrown out of her family's produce business for being a woman. She was super business-minded and, told her husband, Dave, I've got $800 saved up. Let's start our own store. So they started the company, and it was actually called Abt Radio back in the 30s. And they sold lots of transistor radios and small items like that. And
probably tube radios initially.
Yeah. We've certainly grown over time, and, we sell thousands of different items, all sorts of things for people's homes. People primarily know us as a consumer electronics and major household appliance business, but we've expanded into categories like furniture and fitness equipment, mattresses, watches, high-end luggage, things, all sorts of things.
Yeah. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I was just going to say, so how big is your center, Jon?
We are in a 350,000 square foot facility. We're on 38 acres. We're based in Glenview, Illinois, which is a suburb of Chicago. But our reach is national. We have a website that we started at abt.com back in 1998, and we've been serving the entire U.S. since then.
So tell me a little bit about the employee makeup. Well, with an organization that size, what percentage of them are involved in the actual selling of your products? Kind of give me a feel for what your employees do.
We've got about 1,200 employees at this point, and Daven was right. We've got a single store. We're a single store retailer. We really try and operate it with a mom and pop atmosphere, which people say is quite unusual for a company of our size, but we're family owned, and we try and maintain that culture that we had when we were 100 employees. There are roughly a little more than 200 sales associates. We've got a lot of we do everything in house. We do very little outsourcing. So we've got a high staff count, but at the end of the day, we really control our own destiny, our own customer service people, our own service techs, our own delivery people, our own tech support. We've got designers, people who do custom home theater designs and installations, same with the kitchen department. So there's all sorts of people running around our store.
And John, that's really why I wanted to have you on the show. We talk to all sorts of businesses, and our focus is always on best practices when it comes to client support. And obviously, that I'm in the outsourcing business, so we service U.S. companies overseas, but we also, like to talk to companies that keep everything in the U.S. because there are reasons for that as well. So, tell me first of all, how many people do you actually have on the phone? So, how many client support and salespeople that are actually phone based?
Probably. My guess is probably about 150 people.
Okay. And can you sort of maybe share a little bit more about your methodology and your best practices for those people on the phones?
Well, people, I say, what's your secret? And there's really no secret sauce at our company. It's really providing good old-fashioned customer service, and it really starts with having good employees and empowering them to make decisions without having to pass the buck.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's interesting. And so tell me a little bit then about that process, in terms of your organization and how it's grown on the sales side.
There's signs throughout our building, and they say the answer is yes to any reasonable request. And to us, there's nothing worse when you make a call in, somebody asks for something, and they say, hold on, I got to check with my manager, or, if it's something reasonable, right off the bat, somebody's telling you no. Mm-hmm. We really try and please our customers. The end goal isn't to make a single sale, it's to establish a customer for life. And not only that person is a customer, but their entire family is a customer. We have generations of people that come back to us. They tell us their parents shopped there 20 years ago. Their grandparents told their parents about the business. And that's really how we've grown over time.
Yeah. Daven.
That's very cool. And then I'm just curious on an actual dollars and cents level, and I presume this is public information. If it's not, just let me know. But you are in a commodity business. Obviously, you're in a highly competitive business when it comes to electronics and what have you. Like I have friends and clients that we work with that are in the grocery business, and their profit margin is 1% to 2%. So I'm just curious, what's the profit margin in your business? Do you mind sharing that info?
It really varies by product category. Mm. And this is one of the main reasons we've expanded into other product categories. Mm. I mean, the main reason being our customers have asked us, why don't you sell this? But at the same time, a television, many years ago, you could make 30 points or more on the product. Now, like you said, it's very commoditized. We've got to be competitive. If you want to stay in business, you've got to be competitive with your pricing. And, depending upon the television, you can make anywhere between 5 and 15 or 18% on the product. So
yeah,
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Oh, I was just going to say one thing, Kevin, and so I understand the concept. So on the retail level, you bring them in for sizzle products like, everybody needs the new TV, so you have a great deal. But now that you have such a huge center with varied products of different margin, you get them in the door, and then people end up buying other things from you as well.
Yeah, there's a lot. The margin structure is very different on a watch than it is on a tablet.
Yeah, let me ask you, one last question, because obviously you're here with a staff of over 1,000. Of course, Daven's company has hundreds of employees that are outsourced. When does it make sense for a company to look at outsourcing part of their operation internationally as a cost-effective way and of increasing their value proposition? When do you see that?
I think it really varies, and it really depends on the type of business and the type of service that you're providing. We've got, when we went online, we have to outsource parts of our business. I mean, we certainly don't have our own team doing deliveries. We we're only as good as those people that we've outsourced that process to. So, that's the last touch point somebody has with our company is the delivery part. And if we don't have a good partner there, customer's not going to come back to us. So I think it really, from a cost perspective, you've got to look at the individual business and see what your goal is, see what you're trying to do, and make that decision from there.
Best-selling author and CEO of 123employee.com, Daven Michaels, with his guest, Jon Abt, with ABT.com. You're the co-president of that organization, correct?
That's correct.
Well, delighted to have you both on the show today. Great segment. Thank you, gentlemen.
Thank you.
Thank you.
When we come back, much more for you. I want to remind you, best content here shows up over there at usdailyreview.com, and you're listening to The Price of Business.